cover their losses, with an eventual mindset to go to the now empty Dwarven Citadel on the top of the mountain before the Starspire peaks, and potentially try and reclaim that for their forebears. As you all came back to Mossstone, you were greeted with a hero's welcome, massive feast, a gigantic party. Archaea Silvermane, very pleased with your work through a lavish festival. Committed as many resources as possible to help building y'all's keep and getting you all a proper place in Mossstone. Constantly, even if a little bit too much, revering you all as the heroes of Mossstone or champions of Mossstone, and kind of leaning into that a little bit more. During the next 2 months or so of peace, I believe we are picking back up in a month called Elient, or Eliant, Eleint. That is the 9th month of the year. You are picking back up around the 14th of Eliant. The month is also known as the Fading, or the first month of autumn. So there's about 2 or 3 months in between returning from the war and then when we're going to pick back up the actual storyline. During these 2-3 months, you all kind of delved into your own personal lives a little bit and did some relaxing, did some research, did some side work. Magnu leaned very heavily into the concept of being a champion of Mossstone, being a hero of Mossstone, and took it upon himself to basically help the townsfolk on an almost daily basis, take a stern watch over the children, the orphans of Mossstone that you have kind of sired and not sired, that's the wrong word. Taken into your custody, more or less, gotten on the right path and stopped them from being hooligans and thieves, and tried to straighten them out into reputable children of Mossstone of some sort. He seemingly took a lot of his time just to teach the kids and tell them the stories of his adventures and regale them ad nauseum as much as possible. It seems like little boy Billy actually wanted to learn how to be a warrior like Magnu, and Magnu kind of took him under his wing and started training him with a small wooden sword and teaching the kid how to hold himself properly and not just fall down or get beaten up or pushed around by Johnny and the others. Sorry. Wow. Names. Warren ended up focusing a lot on his crafting and craftsmanship, as well as his research into the finer and more esoteric topics of the realm and the world that he could get his hands on using the knowledge of the libraries of Mossstone and even the oh my god, names are going to kill me. I need to pull up a map. I hate having maps, but I love having maps. Where's the big map?
Daromar.
Daromar, thank you. Sorry. Towns maps.
You're good.
Why do I not have the town maps here? Doesn't make sense. Got folders for everything and none of the town maps exist. That's so sad. Oh, there they are. Haha. Get away. Yeah, so using the different libraries of the region, the capital of Daromar's library is extremely helpful. And doing some travel back and forth, he did some research on potential topics of interest that may affect the party or that may be after the party, or leads that you've heard of in passing that didn't really get able to get followed up on. Would have also taken some downtime in both cities using both forges and the craftsmen from the local area to do some creating of and modifying of new and better equipment and items for the party whenever danger did finally arise again. Because in the Forgotten Realms, it's not a matter of if something will happen, just a matter of when. And you all know that more than most, so Warren is always trying to be prepared for that. Through his travels, he was able to see what we got here, because I'm going to roll a dice for this. I don't need to place a pin. I want to roll a dice. High or low?
High.
Okay. It is. Oh, God. I hate these pins. Get them out of here. Oh, Roll20 has edited itself, and I don't like it. We're not friends anymore, Roll20. But that's cool. Now all the pins that I paid for are useless because I can put a pin on a map. I'm going to put y'all on this map real quick because I just want to show that pins are a thing because they're fun. I can now put pins on a map. I hate that.
Pins?
Can you not see the pins?
Where did you place a pin? Nope, we cannot see that.
No
You
pin.
can't see that.
Cannot see
Nope.
pin. Pin
Oh,
not
that's
seeable.
interesting. I don't like that. That's irritating. Why would I put a pin there for no reason?
I mean,
Oh, because they're hidden and visible.
Oh, I can see it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they have a hidden invisible tab. Anyway, not the point. Sorry, getting distracted. Fate's new toys. Sorry. Warren was also able to travel across the kingdom here and there and find some more elusive brokers of magical items that could be bought, bartered, traded, and sold. Magic items are not usually procurable as far as like shops go and stores go. In the Forgotten Realms, there were found items, but certain traveling merchants might have a rare item or two lying around. Some might even have something extremely valuable. And in an effort to kind of remove items out of the party's massively overloaded inventory of useless and potentially not necessary things, began to make some trades on equipment. You said, I believe, in your message that you were looking to remove the deck of many things and potentially trade that off.
Please get rid of it.
That's correct. Yes.
Cool. So with a 12 out of 20, and that's a high roll, it's higher than 10. Varying degrees of success would have changed what the potential item could have been or how much it could have been traded or sold for. It does take you about 3 to 4 weeks to find a actual buyer who's not completely scared of this deck of cards that you had in hand. Everybody you go to basically kind of like shushes you or tries to put it back in your pouch, or anybody with half a brain is like, fuck this.
So me and the kids shouldn't have played
But
poker
after about
at
3 or
that
so
time.
weeks down one of the alleys and back areas of Daramar, you do run into a gentleman in a heavy gray cloak, hunched over, wooden stick in hand, keeping his balance upright, very scoliosis back, wearing like broken, tattered sandals. And he has this very strange and odd cart of random items, baubles, potions, etc. And just in passing, he shouts out to you, special items for buy and for sale, and all the unusual procurements you could never want but might always need. You said, fuck it, why not? And kind of go down the alley and take a chance. He asks in passing talk, do you have any rare, valuable things from your travels that you might like to offlet or trade or barter for? Warren procures the deck of many things. And unlike most people, his eyes kind of light up. And he leans over the deck, spreads the cards face down, counting how many there are in the deck. A little bit disappointed, but excited that this item has even come into his purview. And so he will, for the sake of this making easy sense, he will offer you a hefty sum of gold or a magical item trade for one of the items in his cart.
Okie dokie. Hmm.
The cart has a number of different exotic-looking potions, a few wooden chests with golden filigree. Obviously, it's the items that are inside the chest that would be the item you would get. Take it akin to a mystery box. He won't open the chest for you before you decide if you would like a chest or pick a chest type thing. He has a. Oh my gosh, sorry. There is a tome or two that look a little bit gothic sitting on the cart as well. He has a broomstick, kind of hung by hooks over the back of the cart. And a few cloaks and different garments hanging off the side of the cart. He
Interesting.
will say that all of the items are here for barter. Your deck is certainly worthy enough of any one item. There's something special in each chest, but it's a little bit more of a shell game to figure out which item you'd actually get. Keep things entertaining, of course. You know, in this business, nothing ever comes straight and clean. But I'm sure you know that. I have these lovely cloaks that can conceal you or even make you disappear for a time being. And I have that dusty old broom up there. Just doesn't do much to fly, but other than that, it's just a broom. If you want to trade for the broom, I'll give you something else too, but to be honest, you'll be getting it off my hands. It's a little bit finicky.
Warren he taps his boots together and starts to levitate a little bit. Says,
Okay, so not the broom. Got it.
sorry.
And as he waves his hand, the broom disappears into dust.
Ooh.
So this is a legendary item I'd be trading away.
Yes.
This guy has.
Mhm.
I think Warren would ask if he's heard of something called a cubic gate.
Oh.
Hmm. He kind of looks at you. The gate you're after. Let me see. And he's going to bend down behind the counter itself. You can hear him kind of ruffling through. Now, mind you, this is like a regular wooden stand, maybe a cart or a trolley at best, nothing crazy large or anything like that. You figure it could probably only hold so many things in the actual wooden frame of itself. But as he dives down into it and starts digging around, you look over the edge and you see just his legs sticking out of whatever this thing is. The space doesn't make sense. His head should be through your legs if he was going all the way through it. And just certain things are being thrown out, and a pipe here, a wrench there, or something else. Small pouch, bag, and he finally pulls himself back out and just for that deck, I could certainly part ways with my one and only cubic gate that I have. He kind of holds it up. Now, but all trades and all sales final. Your deck for my gate, or are you sure you want the gate? There's all the treasure chests, and there's you probably want the gate. But yes, I do have one.
That is amazing. Warren Warren is is raised to be a businessman, so he's obviously skeptical of like situations like this. He turns to the man. He says, "Would you allow me to cast Identify on this?"
Of course. No good magic trader trades false items or lets nobody identify. Absolutely. And he'll set it down on the counter.
Yeah, Warren will, expend the charge and cast Identify.
Absolutely. For all intents and purposes, where did my other window go? God damn it. It is a 3-inch across cube, radiating magic energy. As you identify it, you find out that each side is linked to a different plane of existence of some sort. Requires an action to use. And essentially you can open portals with it. 3 charges. Seems to be a cubic gate. Each side glows a different color as you look at this cube.
Sick. Warren gets a gleam in his eye and says, "You, my friend, have provided the solution to several of my friend's problems. This trade, whether you see the results of it or not, will serve Tithir. I promise it." And he will push.
To be honest, I really don't like being in Tithir that much. It's kind of a random one-off. I'm just trying to get rid of some stuff. But if you say it'll help, then that's great. Then it'll help. Here's to Tithir. Like holds the cubic gate out towards you and holds his hand out in exchange, waiting for the deck.
We'll give him the deck.
And you see him kind of like ponder over the deck and look at it. He flips all the cards over, seeing the blank ivory faces on the bottoms of them. And just ecstatic and delighted, he flips it back, puts it back into a small pouch, and reaches out his hand to shake your hand to conclude business. I believe our deal here is done. Do you have anything else that you might like to trade, buy, move around? You seem to be a good client. I can stick around this place for a little while longer for you if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, I think Warren will tell him he has pipes of the sewers that he'd like to get rid of. It's an uncommon item. And a Qual's Feather token, which is a rare item.
Yeah, so for each of those things, he would offer you coinage.
Okay.
Probably not another rare item or a magical item, because all the things that he has are legendary, mythic, or rare in fashion. Very rare in fashion, so it's kind of like this really high-end, crazy magical item shop. But he would give you 285 gold for the pipes, and for the consumable feather token, I think 875 gold.
Done.
And you see him pull out an empty pouch and put it on the counter in front of you. And then he just points his finger at it, and you see this thing that starts filling up with gold coins.
That's sick. I will happily hand over the items.
Once again, a pleasure doing business with you. I'm afraid I never caught your name, dear friend.
My name is Warren Darrigal. My friends call me Specs.
Pleasure to meet you, Specs. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too.
Separate from the cart, you begin to walk back down the alley, and admiring the prize in your hand, the gold coin in your hand, you look back over your shoulder and the cart is no longer there. Neither is the man.
That's awesome.
But you do smell a hint of brimstone in the alleyway.
Mm-mm-mm. Love to hear it.
That boy was wearing a dimension door cloak, wasn't he?
He was doing something. Did have a number of things on him. Anyway, so you do in your 2 months of downtime procure the Cubic Gate, and do a decent bit of research in the libraries of Daramar, Tathir, and basically all over the region. The specific things you were looking to figure out were more information about the trickster god, the trickster giant goddess, or whatever that you had heard whispers of, had potentially run into. And with the level of clearance and access that you now have as Heroes of Mossstone, you are allowed into the deeper vaults of the libraries of Daramar, where more ancient tomes and historic documents and records are held that most don't get to put their eyes on. Because of your deeds to the country, as long as you have an escort, you're allowed to go down there for 5-hour periods per day. And so you do so over the course of about 2 or so weeks, perusing through a number of these tomes and aisles and books and areas. And you would learn a decent bit more about certain things. So you would learn that the official name and title of the trickster god is Diane Castra, Diancastra. She is considered a goddess of many faces. She can take many forms and shape change at will. A random and hard to parse together tome explains that she was an arrogant goddess, but always disguised herself because she was not always the strongest goddess of the pantheon that she was a part of. She could cast extensive amounts of magic for a giant. She was most at home near water's edge or around water, or often visiting the plane of water occasionally. And let's see. There are rumors that her father was Anam, Annam. And that she had a mother who was a mortal giant. She had a pantheon of brothers and sisters. And lore states that she had a typical affiliation to giving her powers to male consorts or male servants that followed her, and empowered mostly men, not so much women or female giants or creatures or people. Interesting. Before the Ordaining War, there were a lot of temples to her, and trying to think. Trying to think if there's anything other useful. Trying to gain reverence is something that all gods try and do. The more followers they have, the more real their avatar and the material plane can be. Obviously, gods have been separated from the material plane for a long time as far as the Forgotten Realms goes. But being able to interact on this plane in avatars or aspects requires a great deal of following and belief in them in general. So anything to further that faith gives them essentially like a mortal body on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
They are currently part of the Giant Pantheon, and yeah, basically she's Trixie and trying to make a foothold back in the real world.
Okay.
That's kind of what you get from that. She's also petty and vengeful, according to people who have claimed lores and stories about being wronged by her, and there's numerous tomes of these tricks they swear were played on them by some trickster god. They can't pinpoint it to Diane Castro, but there's like an entire tome of like, oh, trickster gods of the multiverse that, you know, it's mostly fiction, mostly fantasy, but you know, there's probably a real story in there or two.
Yeah.
You even find a children's book that depicts her at one point.
There's an ex-wife joke in there somewhere.
Wow.
Does Warren find any information regarding like a seat of power or a seat of faith? Like, is there a region more dedicated to following Diane Castra? Like, if we were to pursue this, where does Warren think he would point the party?
Let's see. Not a lot of worshippers on this plane in general, it seems. Giants are mostly the worshippers of her. They don't really have a lot of temples to her anymore after the wars. But there does seem to be an account in a book called Planes, and Planes of the Multiverse, spelled Plane, Pliein, and Plane again, but in a different segment of the multiverse, that mentions a number of temples to gods and deities reside in the Ladies' Ward in the city of Sigil in the Outlands.
Okay.
Which is another plane of existence, or an outer plane, more or less. Yeah, that's basically what you get from that. If you were to try and learn more about her, you might have to do some traveling to another plane.
Okay.
But other than that, that's all you find on her. What was the other research that Warren wanted to do? I'm sorry, this is going to take a minute because Warren had a fucking ass list of stuff over here.
Really did.
It was good. Research.
Yeah.
Did some
he would want
research on
to-
Rakshasas in general. It was something you had
Yeah.
said.
Rakshasa, like,
So
the-
you find just general bestiary books on this type of creature, some random fiction lore, things like that. It's stated in these books that likely the only way to kill one of these creatures in permanence would be to kill them in their home plane of creation, or in their lair of hell where they were created at. It does mention that lesser Rakshasa are usually in the higher planes, first or second layers of hell. but stronger, more powerful Rakshasa, older, wiser, are usually found in the lower planes of hell, in the third, fourth, fifth layers. Exactly where this one may be located, you don't get an exact idea. But you do understand that most Rakshasa tend to live a life of luxury wherever they're at, whether it's in the mortal plane or in their home, in their palace, castle, dungeon, whatever they want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually pretty well to do and somewhat well known in the area that they reside in. You obviously get all the simple notes that Rakshasa are vengeful. If you're wrong one, you got to keep an eye over your back at all times. Crafty, heavy magic spellcasters. Extremely resistant to a number of damages.
Mhm.
There is a dusty tome that you find by somebody named Van Richten about how he's studied creatures like this, but to no avail. He's not brave enough to go to the hells and find one to do any more research, but he's put a
Why
lot
am
of
I not
speculative information together.
All right. I think the last thing, if we still have time, would be he just want to do some research on the dragons in the area, just information that he could bring to Magnu.
Yeah.
Like if he could interview some of the druids that fought in the giant war that we participated in, and or talk to some of the elves in the elven city.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my god, I have to do another page of research. I'm sorry, this is gonna take a minute.
Well, I mean, and this is stuff that you don't have to give me right now.
I'll give it to
too.
you down the road, and we'll
Yeah.
kind of put that together. But I will put
Mhm.
that together for you because there would be some word, and I'll get names and stuff down for you. Essentially, the long and the skinny of it is, there is a adult green dragon somewhere in the center of the Weldath,
Mhm.
near the elven villages that you're aware of.
Mhm.
Pretty recluse, keeps to itself, isn't bothered by the elves for the most part. You've been given a rough sketch of where on a map, but creatures typically don't go near there.
Yep.
The elves have a passive relationship with it, but they're not going to bother it. There are talks of I believe it's copper, might be bronze, bronze dragon in the Weldath in a different part, closer to the top of the Weldath. Nobody exactly knows where their cave or lair is, but they're often seen flying from the Firedrake Bay over the Weldath and settling somewhere about in here on the map.
Okay.
As far as that goes, it's probably the same one that Billy and them saw that day.
Yep.
As far as their names, I'll get those to you. I have them. I just can't remember them. As far as other research goes, dragons in the area. I mean, there is a blue dragon out over the Firedrake Bay in some capacity that you know of, but you haven't seen or gotten any more information on of that. Magnu, would you have mentioned any part of your back history about the dragon to the team members, or is that something they would have to learn in time?
About the
one that you're dealing with, yes.
Yeah, they would have all known about that because I brought it up
Okay,
during the big druid meeting way back when.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So in doing a little bit of research about that, There does seem to be rumor of a tyrant-style tyrannical dragon in the Small Teeth Mountains. You get a little bit of information from the dwarves that were part of your party that have been expelled from the Small Teeth Mountains
Mhm.
on that dragon itself. Not that it has a specific lair or location. It has about 2 or 3 places that it frequents on the highest peaks of the Small Teeth peaks. It rules with an iron fist. It has servants of all different races, creatures, types. Anything that lives on the mountain is basically beholden to it for the most part.
Mm.
You've heard rumors that it has a network of human spies working for it as well and appeasing it, and potentially a small cult worshipping it. Um, just in passing, Magnu, you probably would have heard that it is starting to get a little bit arrogant. Just from travelers, passersby, and people that have escaped the area. You also hear that it is starting to fly down and terrorize the port city that you all began your adventure in.
Moran.
So it seems to have expanded its grasp across the Small Teeth Mountains, if anything. It also seems to be recruiting subservient allies wherever it can.
So you're saying it's heading south? Or it's
So it's heading it's heading southwest.
Gotcha.
Like it's going from the Small Teeth here into this area and kind of screwing with this tradeway.
Understood.
As such, the path through the Small Teeth Mountains that connects Am and Tathir is basically not traveled anymore. Most travelers are starting to take the 2 to 3 day journey around the mountains and going through Bros. Which at Donna, if you were to go back to Bros at all, you would see, or you would have an increased level of traveling traffic that's now coming through the city that normally would just go through the mountains that doesn't anymore. But if you stay in Mossstone and your family stays in Mossstone, then you wouldn't know that. Yeah, that seems to be the extent of the dragons in the area.
Okay.
That you could at least get a handle on. Ooh,
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry. But yeah, that would be the research you were able to kind of scratch on and get information about. Adthana, as far as your situation goes, for the most part, Adthana would spend the time with her father in an effort to figure out more about him, to learn from him, to train from him, but also to try and figure out why he was potentially brought back from the brink of death or death itself to do whatever task he's been assigned, which is still kind of not super clear. But you would try and glean into that as much as possible. Not a lot of great information comes from that, except that he serves at the behest of the Platinum Dragon now. That much he does know, which kind of ties into something with Cyrus, but Cyrus isn't here right now. Cyrus has also kind of been searching for, information on a foothold on the Platinum Dragon and this thing which has kind of presented itself to him in the recent past. And I believe that's where his storyline is going to kind of go down a little bit, is into that research. But I'll get together with Colts and figure that out. So that way I'm not assuming, because I don't like to do that for people's storylines. I'm trying to remember, so I apologize. Adthana, did you receive letters in the past?
No.
Beautiful. So, after about the first month or so, being in Mossstone and having been settled down, a letter would have arrived for you at the keep itself.
Okay.
Um, this is a letter from one of your brothers.
Oh.
A reply to your letter sent.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to hear your adventures go well. Write to inform that I am on an expedition in a jungle on a continent to the south.
Yeah.
The pay for this venture is amazing. I'll be able to send a lot of money back to you and Mom as soon as possible. It seems whoever's in charge of this has extremely deep pockets, and we are being very well taken care of as far as living situations go. Things are going well, but it's a little concerning because a few of the people who came down here originally have gotten lost in the jungle, and rescue teams went out to find them and found no trace of those people, which is a little concerning. But as long as we stay in a group together, we're fine for the most part. The work's a little bit dangerous, but I feel like we're getting to the heart of our goal, and I mean, it's a steady paycheck, it's a steady job. He would ask in return, how's Mother? Feel free to write back whenever. You can send correspondence to the Northern Bay Base Camp in the region of Chult.
Yeah.
Correspondence can be sent. They usually arrive within about a week or so based on boat travel and mail travel. Just in general. They look forward to seeing you after all of this is said and done. And look forward to coming back and hearing more of your amazing stories. Since I don't think there was a correspondence that Dad had been found yet, I don't think anything would be written about that.
We did, didn't we? Because we were
Did
talking
you?
to Rabanaster and I asked him to pass a message on.
Mm-hmm.
You did, yes. I'm sorry. So a blurb would be in there somewhere about wait, so I'm still a little fuzzy on the details. You found him, but he's re-alive? That's kind of strange. Write back to me with more information, please, because this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'll do what I can, I guess, to figure it out. It's very odd. Make sure he takes good care of Mom. Don't let him run off again, okay? And hopefully we'll be able to come and see you soon. I'm a little worried about our other brother. I haven't heard anything from him in a number of months. Maybe you have, shed some light on that. But it's always great to be able to talk to you. Hopefully you respond quickly. And then it's signed.
Cool.
That's that letter. Does anything else that I thought I might want to do during a downtime?
Really? She's made me up for this time.
That's fine. I'm good with that. I just want to make sure. Making up for a lot of lost time and living in this nice bit of tranquil peace. As it is rare and everything seems to be kind of piecing itself together right now, it's a nice little bit of a calm that you haven't had before. So you take that time in and kind of just rest and relax around the new keep with family members involved and have what is as close as possible to a whole family again, at least for the time. Magnu, you would have heard the rumors from Warren. You would have heard similar things and goings on about the Blue Dragon itself. I know that was
Mhm.
something that your character would be keeping an eye out for or an ear out for in different pubs and taverns. One night you're in a pub in Mossstone, just having a drink and a bite, and a group of weary adventurers kind of come in and are sitting at the bar. And throughout the evening, you hear them recall a tale of running afoul of a blue dragon up north. They were able to escape by the skin of their teeth. They lost 2 members of their party, but they were basically kind of like drinking their sorrows away and a little bit of contemplating giving up adventuring altogether because it's just too darn dangerous. They don't look like they're extremely seasoned. They remind you of your group not too long ago. Just a little rag and tag. There's no real rumors that this blue dragon is specifically looking for a creature of specific nature or type or like a kobold or anything like that. But you do hear that they are growing far more active throughout the next couple of months. And to Nimloth, is there anything around Mossstone that you would be focusing your character on or trying to figure out or trying to do or get done?
He opens up a t-shirt stand. No.
That's fair.
Yeah, t-shirt says I survived.
Nimloth
the
tie-dye
wildland.
tees.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. No.
I survived the giant war and all I got was this tie-dye tee.
No, I'd say he would bolster defenses around the Weldath, like,
Mhm.
or at least like all the like he would. First of all, he would open up like probably like a trading / courier service across the Weldath and north and south of the Weldath, just to rearmament the towns, and he would work with like the different governments and things to get everybody back up to speed or at least back before the war started as much as he could.
Absolutely. And being a druid as you are and being connected to the Weldath itself, Arceus would actually seek to try and help you in this endeavor and try and expand the strength of the Weldath as a whole, the cities in it, the elven cities as well as the humanoid cities, the goblin or the gnomish town that lies on the border, even extending as far as Bros, and begin to make tradeways and headways in the actual Weldath itself. Let me see.
Yeah, and he'd also open up like a more certified rumor mill where like things like yes, you can make a rumor, but this rumor would be true, right? Like it, or more accurate, I guess, would be a better or you would attempt to, right? Like you'd have people like run around and ask questions.
I see. Creating more accurate rumors. Okay, I can see that. So you do end up working tirelessly over the next 2 months or so to kind of ingrain yourself in the Weldath and the people itself. You make friends with the elves in the trees. Create correspondences back and forth between Mossstone and their village in the Weldath. You also open up conversations and relations with the High Elves that are in the northern part of the Weldath, who are usually pretty offset and don't really want to interact with a bunch of people. But throughout your wise words, your encounters, and the help of Arceus, you are able to at least open up communications with them, figuring out some of their history, politics, lore, and just general rumors that they have. You are able to create a small trade network from Mossstone to Brost to
Alcestra.
Is it Calcestra? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Elven City.
Yep. Thank you for having names of everything. I appreciate you. and almost creating a triangle trade kind of system between the three. Trade routes begin to get carved out of the wood itself or shaped out of the wood itself by the elves. So travel carts and things like that can travel through more freely without having to rely a lot on foot traffic travel. As such, you create a larger friendship between the Druids of Mossstone, the Elves of Kalsestra, and the human traders in Brost. Surprisingly enough, through all of this, it does not look like Brost has been messed with by the dragons from the north, even though it is very close to the edge of the Smallteeth Mountains. The rumor mill goes off with a few hiccups here and there. It's hard to get people to start spreading more factual rumors and less grandiose rumors, but after a while and after some heavy-handed focus, you kind of get that going as well. The information passed along is a little more consistent. It's like a better game of telephone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you feel like you've accomplished what you set out to do as far as creating a better network of information and communication around the Weldath, and as such, you have strengthened the defenses of any attacks that may strengthen the defenses of the Weldath against any outside attacks that may happen to the Elven City, Mossstone, Brost, or anything else in your trade triangle. The elves actually start trading rare and valuable Fey equipment with the people of Brost, who in turn are able to provide Mossstone with resources that it lacks, that it can't get, because now Brost is more on the tradeway, because of the detour around the Smallteeth Mountains. And Mossstone provides druidic help to build up the defenses of Kalsestra and to reinvigorate the trees and basically give them small spiked armaments of defense that would make it harder to invade or attack the treetop city of Kalsestra. So, positivity all around for that one. Is there anything else that Nimloth might be looking into?
He patents the radio. No, I don't think so. I feel like that would take up a lot of Nimloth's time.
Yep. Sure.
Going back and forth.
As you go to patent a radio, a wizard comes and takes it away from you.
It's just like a stick figure drawing of me talking into a box.
That's fun. It's actually hilarious. No, yeah, so that would probably take up most of your time, but you are able to bolster the defenses of the entirety of the three cities that surround the Weldath, protecting them from any minor incursions. This also cuts down on a lot of the bandits and rabble and random attacking that happens when people travel through the Weldath, making the pass through a little bit safer as well. During that time, you are also able to, with the help of the elves in Kalsestra, pinpoint and kind of squash out the remaining few pockets of cultist worshippers to Talona that were in the southern half of the Weldath.
Sweet.
Not that there was
So
any
just,
active plague anymore, but in an effort to just make sure that nothing comes back, the elves got a little vengeful. You said, fuck it, why not? And started to actively help them. Purge is the wrong word, but cleanse is probably the better word. The area of a lot of cultists of poison and decay. With your staff, with your powers, and being gifted one of the more powerful druidic focuses in the world. You're looked up to as almost like a leader of the Weldath in its own right. And it's only been 2 months or so, but you can kind of get this feeling that Arceus is kind of like nudging you in the direction of being like a forest protector, protecting this area as a whole and making this your domain for the most part, much like he did at one point, and much like Tethirman did at one point. Not forcing you down a path, but kind of guiding you to follow in footsteps.
Nice.
Yeah. So that is about where we are at as far as the catch up goes, I think. I think that makes sense. What time is it? 30. Dan, you said you had only about 2 hours.
Yeah, roughly. I could probably go another half an hour or so.
Cool. So we got the catch up done. I guess my question to you all is, what, if any, threads or strings would you all like to pull on? It's kind of your adventure at this point. I mean, I've got ideas of plots and things like that, but I wanted to make sure we got all the downtime kind of covered and taken away. You are also probably able to make Warren 2 sets of adamantine equipment.
Mhm.
Whichever ones you would like to make and procure for whoever you would like to make and procure it for. Yeah, you gave me like way too much, and I appreciate that. It's like, I'm not gonna say no.
There's a lot of strings.
I was. There are a lot of strings, and I was like happy for you to ignore any of it, but also, I'm also happy to pull on them.
I mean, now we have the gate cube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that
that's a
gate
big
cube
one.
That's huge.
And you have yet another random thread of somebody who disappears into brimstone.
How long did it take us to find the gate cube? You know what I'm saying?
Almost a month.
A month or 2, yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about real life. Me and Paul were like in a conversation,
Oh,
like going through
dude, it
documents.
Oh.
did take us a couple. Like we were talking about it for like an hour or 2.
Hours. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So just like, what?
I
should
mean,
we
I
change?
feel like the Deck of Many Things is a fair trade for almost any other legendary item.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's kind of the conclusion we came to as well.
I'm fine with that. It's a prop for a prop, and one actually story purpose and one doesn't. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Is there a second edition of the Deck of Many Things that we can find?
There is.
Is there really?
There is. It's worse than the one we had.
Oh hell yeah! All right,
Yes.
that's what I want to. That's the string I want to pull.
Insane.
Yep.
I wasn't done playing with the first deck.
God.
That's fair. Neither was the guy who you sold it to, apparently.
Yeah.
Careful what you do.
So, motherfucker. That won't bite us in the ass at all.
No, not at all. Never.
Sure.
No. Who, me? Have plot lines? No.
Please playing cards. I'm dizzy
Mhm.
for whoever that is. Please tell me.
What's that?
Please tell me you're going to be pulling cards for whoever that is.
Oh,
That'll
absolutely.
be hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. I still have a list of all the cards. I know what I'm doing. When I read that in Hawkeye's backstory, I was like, or when I read that in his plans, I was like, oh, cool. I mean, nothing that bad has ever happened to people who have given card pulls to other people. No,
Ooh.
nothing in the history of Decks of Many Things.
Yeah.
No, but it's fun. Because the Gate Cube makes good sense to have for just fun shenaniganery. Also, Sigil, that's a fun place to have to go if you want to go
Yeah.
and do some research. That's a whole fucking plot line in and of itself. Lower layers of the Nine Hells, that's going to be fun if you want to go that way. People disappearing in Chult, kind of concerning.
Yeah.
But your brother's
Mhm.
fine. I'm sure he's okay.
Sure.
And Ravenaster's down there. Nothing
Yeah,
to worry
he's got
about.
Rabinaster. You know what I'm saying? He got Rabinaster.
Hmm.
That's a
Fine.
fun
It's just my whole
elephant, man.
family goes missing all the time, it seems.
What's that?
Just the whole family goes missing all the time. It's fine.
Yep.
Starting to become a hereditary thing.
It really is.
And then one day you all wake up and Athana's gone.
It is quite
Uh,
funny.
It is.
Okay, so we got about half an hour left. Is there any direction you all want to go, or do I get to pick? I have ideas, but I've also got like 6 directions written, so I need kind of a focus.
How are the kids doing?
Um,
Orphans.
well, now that you have a keep, they're not really orphans anymore. Um,
How are
But-
our orphans doing? You know what I'm saying?
Are orphans. Yeah.
yes, you're. They are adjusting to not being live on the street grungy pickpockets anymore. Billy has taken up a wooden sword and trains with Magnu, trying to be a warrior and a hero.
Mhm.
Ewo.
Just because he thinks what y'all do is the coolest shit ever.
Yep.
Johnny has gotten a runner job at the trading post. The courier operation that Nimloth runs. And is doing solid work to help pay you all back for taking them in. The girls are acclimating to not having to scrounge and scrape for everything, getting along pretty well. The older girl is, I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. The worst. I had them in the book and now I've lost them. Rosie, thank you. Rosie has started to help out at a local apothecary, apprenticing under making poultices and potions and things like that. And the little girl,
You've got Emily or
Emily.
Sarah?
Let's go with Emily. Thank you. You're so good with the names and the writing down of the things, and I'm not. And that's the worst part about being with you. Emily is kind of just hanging out, chilling at the fort, holding things down. And Sarah for the most part too. They're just getting their studies in with Keeper Darren whenever they can, learning about the world, learning a little bit more about Mossstone as they go. Darren, although he didn't originally want to, has kind of grown fond of the kids and has become more like a teacher, mentor, caretaker, with lack of a real role since Arceus has been back and able to hold down his job a little bit better. And with the presence of you all there, Darren has a lot less responsibility to the town itself because now there are wards and watchers and seeming peace in Mossstone, so Darren has to do far less about keeping the peace in Mossstone. Yeah, kids are doing all right. Billy still got his list, but I don't think that's ever going to go away. That's
What
not a
about
bad thing.
Nigel?
Which one was Nigel?
He's also one of the small guys.
God bless, how many little bastards did I give y'all? No. Another one of the smaller ones. He'd honestly probably be under Darren as well, learning and trying to be
Yeah.
educated about things. Most of the younger kids need that education. Billy said, fuck that, he's going to be a warrior. He doesn't need to be educated. He'd rather run off and have adventures with Magnet. Darren offered, he said, Magnet will teach me all that stuff. I'm good.
Teach them how to
Person after
swing
Magnus'
things.
heart.
So far, Magnet has not taught him anything of the world of Mossstone or anything like that, but just the way of the kobolds.
The way of the cobalt. Get things, ask questions later.
Yeah, you
Mischievous.
could say he's a kobold soul.
Oh, that was good.
I try. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, the kids are doing all right. They all have 1 or 2 rooms in the keep itself. They still spend most of their free time in the trees above the keep, where that ladder has been kind of extended into part of the base of the keep that leads down into their rooms. So it's like a little wing for the kids, as well as like a tree fort, like down into the actual fort itself. Yeah, I mean, pretty fucking peaceful overall. Which is strange because months and months of peace go by, and this is not natural. You do all celebrate together at the Midsummer's Festival, and beyond that, so we went to Midsummer between Flame Roll and Alicia's. Shield Meet is not this year. Oasis is a hot month. It's basically the equivalent of August. Crops get harvested. Some of you help out with that. The kids help out as much as they can. It's a pretty bountiful harvest. Traders come and go through Mossstone. Different whispers pass back and forth, but nothing crazy. And then, yeah, I think that's it. That's what I got. It's about as far as I've gotten as far as prep goes.
As
I guess the
far
question
as
for you. Yeah, what's up?
well, as far as gear goes for the party, I think Warren spent a month looking for someone to offload the legendary item. He would have been encountering people who like had magic items or whatever, but they just didn't deal at
Right.
the level he was looking for.
Mhm.
So I think I made a suit of adamantine for Adana, a suit for myself, and then worked on upgrading the one of his magic items, the all-purpose tool.
Mhm.
I think in his travels, if there's like, I don't know if there's gear that the party, like within reason, if there's gear that the party wanted, if he could track that down over the 2 or 3 months. Being the one like holding the purse.
Right. Not as much as you would think.
Okay.
1 for the balance of the game, and 2 for the fact that you were doing a lot of research to get a lot of information.
Yeah.
It probably took a lot of time. I would say you probably could have come across 1 or 2 rare items that may be beneficial to the party.
Okay.
We'll say about 2 rare items, and we can figure out what those are
At a later point.
at a later point or through the week. If you want
Sounds
to converse
good.
with anybody who has an item of interest that they might like to have, we can discuss if that's something that we could figure out or dive into for sure. I don't have a
Sick.
problem with that. I mean, y'all are at the point now where we're basically in tier 3.
Yeah.
So magic items are something you would have or have some access to, and since we haven't really been dungeoning, finding them is a little extra.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But like I said, like, I play a little bit more fast and loose with magic items anyway, so I don't really have a problem with that if you took the time and downtime to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I will get Cyrus's information and we'll figure out what his downtime entailed. I assume it's a lot of research in regards to the Platinum Dragon order that he came from, what the hell is going on, and potential revenge on eventually, because of his backstory and things of that nature. But yeah, I guess if you guys want to give me a heading, do you want to go and do research on dragons in the Weldath? Did you want to try and take on a blue dragon in the mountains? You want to go plane hopping and find a Rakshasa? When the group kind of like gets their shit together and it's had enough rest, what is the plan? If there is a plan.
I feel like
If there's
the
not a plan, I just
Raksh-
got a lot to write.
I feel like the Rakshasa is like a more imminent threat to us than anything else.
Yeah, because
right?
it has been about 3 months, and the last time he popped up was about a month or so after
Yeah, so
being
what's that
run
guy
back
up
off.
to?
It's a great question. You don't know.
You know, kick some doors in, like
In the 9 hells. Just go kick
Yeah.
some doors in.
yeah.
I
That'd be
mean,
easy
if
enough,
you were
right?
to do focused research on what it would take to get to the 9 hells, you do have a planner device that has 6 random faces on it. Now,
Gotta
those
play
can
with
kind
it
of
like
go
you're
to any
playing with a
place at
Rubik's Cube.
discretion, but one of them would at least take you to the first layer of the 9 hells. One of them would take you to the Outlands. One would take you. The other 4 are going to be fun to figure out. But you do see the cube with 6 sides has one side that is very like crimson colored and one side that is very like bright opaque white light colored. The remaining sides flash a different color, which I will determine in the near future because I need to figure out where this cube is going to take you.
Hell yeah.
But it would at least give you a heading on places. And since we've only got about 10 minutes left anyway, I think we should just probably call it and not start a story until we have Cyrus back. Just to figure out what that is. However, I'm going to leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger as when all of you wake up one morning in your keep and gather for a general breakfast, which you do often enough, you notice a vibration in your pocket magnu, and the scrying stone that connects to one Rabanester is glowing.
I pick it up out of my pocket and I say, "Boss man."
And that's where we're going to cut.
That's cool.
Thank you guys for doing this with me. I'm glad we could get the downtime out of the way. I'm sorry it was just